Right, let's start off.
Hi.
What did you take from that? Had it not been for a wonder goal and a wonder save, you might have drawn.
Yeah, listen, I think the players deserve a lot of credit. They carried out the game plan that we wanted in terms of you got to stay in the game, and it's not normally how we play, but you have to respect you're playing against arguably the best team in the world, so you got to deny them space, and so we defend it well in those moments, and they had lots of the ball, and we're obviously technically very good, and their idea is great how they can shift you, but our players stood up very strong to that and didn't give away too many opportunities. And then once we had a wee bit more belief as the game wore on, we started to then break through their pressure, and by the end, like you say, we could have had something from the game, and by the end the crowd is up, everything's there, and we were unfortunate not to get something.
Yeah, when you took the handbrake off in the last 20, you caused some problems. Any regrets though about the way you did set up initially?
No, not at all. I think you'd have seen it yourself. It's not taking the handbrake off, it's managing the game. You got to manage the game. You got to respect that this is, like I said, the best team in the world. You give them too much space, they punish you, and I'm sure you've watched them often enough to see them do that, and you've probably seen better teams than us do it as well. So you have to use a bit of logic and a bit of common sense when you're playing against them, and like I say, we manage and restricted them, and when the moment was to change the game, we did that, and the players crowded it out really well. We talk about the game being the game of inches. It was a couple of inches and Kevin's shot goes outside of the post, and a couple of inches Yuri's goes in, and that was the difference.
Just on the winning free kick, I mean, how good was it?
Yeah, he's a brilliant player, fantastic player, and like you say, from that far out, he's such a threat. So he's big quality.
It was a good round of applause, Brendan, at the end of the game. Appreciating the players' efforts. Do you feel like you've sort of won the fans over again over the past sort of 3 or 4 weeks?
I think the crowd were great today and they had to be because of we're normally a team that likes to impose our game onto the opposition, especially at home. But they could see what we were doing. They could see and recognise the quality of Man City, so they couldn't get too frustrated when we were in that sort of deeper press. But then could see then the changes in the game that we were making on at the time that we did, and then they really pushed the team through. And like I say, with a wee bit more finesse and a bit more clinical edge in the final third, we could have got something. So, but no, they really supported the team, and that's so important. But I think over the last few weeks, the players have showed that resilience. That's what the supporters want to see, and then marry that to our football, then we can be a half decent team.
So, first start of the season, so I'm sure as well. Your thoughts on why you brought him in? Was it just the formation, and what you thought?
Yeah, just purely the formation. We obviously went to a 5, and our idea was that if you play with a back 4, Man City will get 5 up on your back line. If you play with 5, they try to get 6 there, and it's all about managing the space. And Cags, obviously Johnny wasn't available, so Cags comes in, and he obviously was a little bit rusty. He hasn't played a great deal, but he gave everything and tired a bit towards the end. But overall, he did his best.
Was that part of the game plan, having the change you made at half time?
Yeah.
Or was that just
no
to try and get Maddison further up the pitch?
No, he kept losing the ball. He kept losing the ball, and it's a game where you're restricted when you have possession, and it's something that as a team we need to be better at. I've said it before. We need to conserve the ball better. When too big a rush at times to score, we end up giving the ball away in the wrong areas. And Papi can come in, he can stabilise the game, he keeps the ball, he can play with minimal touches to keep the ball, and I thought he did well when he came on. So Kieran's been brilliant for us. That's a great learning game for him and for some of the players, but yeah, that was the reason.
£15 million, Faes is looking better and better all the time, isn't he?
It's coming in so late in the window and settling in. No, he's a good player. He's well educated in football. That's what allows him to settle in. He's a leader in terms of, you don't see so many in the modern game, but he genuinely is a guy who wants to lead on the field. But his biggest attribute, he loves to defend. You know, he wants to defend. He defends forward. He's aggressive, and like I said, he can play football. He understands his passes. He's well educated in the game, and at 24, he can do really well here.
How hard or easy is that decision to change shape of tactic, obviously, for City?
Yeah, listen, it's one where, if we look at some of the good results we've had, or some of the good moments we've had against Man City, it's normally been in that sort of 5-4-1 shape. Now, what 5-4-1 doesn't allow you to do so well is press the game, because you've got a lonely striker and against players that are really good with the ball technically, so it doesn't allow you to engage so high. And if you think of our 5-2 game against City, it was 5-4-1. And then probably the second half of the game last season, when we changed and we got 3 goals in the second half, and we're good defensively apart from 2 corners. So it's a system that can work well for you. It's just a change of mindset, which is the difficult one, from being a team that wants to impose your way in the game and press the game, and to then, you know, you're having to sit off and give the sort of onus to the game to them. So, but then in those moments you have to be clinical. So it was pretty easy to convince the players, which is the important thing. And like I said, they carried it out pretty well.
All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.